ஜன்னல் சமூகத்தின் சாளரம் மாதம் இருமுறை வெளிவரும் குடும்ப இதழ்.
You will do some homework before coming to the spot. How was Arya for this film, Kadam?
Like I said, he definitely did do his homework. He put in a lot of homework to get to that size, and then he must have started his homework like at least 8 months or 10 months or something before we started shooting. And so that went on, and then he had to maintain his body while we were shooting, and he had to do a lot of stunts in the film, a lot of really great stunts. It's great to watch on screen, but I think for him it was pretty challenging physically. It was really demanding of him, and he got hurt a lot, but he is very dedicated for sure and very committed to his job.
As you say, there are so much of stunts involved in Kadam movie, and as a heroine, have you done any stunts in the movie? I have already seen one in trailer, and how was the experience in doing a stunt as a heroine?
Well, yes, the one in the trailer, but if you watch the film, you see that there are a few more, and it was interesting. See, that's one of the parts of the film that made me want to do it, because I got to do stunts that you don't really get to do in regular films. So it was challenging, but I love a good challenge, and I had a great time doing it.
We always know Madras Tamilarasi, that delivery of the dialogue was something good. And how about this film, coming up to a tribal character, delivering the dialogues? Was it difficult to adapt for that situation, or was it somehow okay?
I believe in doing my homework before I go to the set, and before I get into a film. I like to really get into the zone of the character, the zone of the film. So I think if you do your homework, nothing becomes difficult. It becomes a very enjoyable process, and I like to enjoy the process of shooting. I don't like to feel any sort of difficulty when I'm shooting. I have to completely enjoy it.
Shooting itself is very difficult in the places where you've been, but you have danced in all the places. How was the dancing experience in forest?
Very difficult, because you're dancing barefoot, and the sand is hot, and there are stones on the floor. So, and we were doing, it was not like very simple movements. It was a lot of kuttu dancing, so that's a lot of energy, and your feet are constantly hitting the ground. So yeah, but I think that's all part of it. It's part of the film, so we did it. We went through, and in the close-up shots, I wore my shoes and danced. So.
At what time you felt, why I came into this film? Like, do I do the justice for the character?
No, I don't. I think those doubts you should have before you come into the film. Once you come into the film, I don't believe in having any such doubts or wondering why and all that. That is something that one should think of before getting into the project. So I did think about it before getting into the project. I was thinking about how difficult the process was going to be. The actual work, the actual shots between action and cut was very nice. It's very simple. But the whole situation, without having to shoot and having to work without being given or having any of your basic facilities provided, or everything generally becomes difficult. Nothing is accessible. So that was the part that was difficult, not only for me but for all of us on the set, especially the women. It was definitely pretty tough, because there weren't any washrooms and things like that, and so yeah, practical issues were quite a problem. And but I sort of mentally prepared myself. I was like, this is how the film is going to be. So you can't think about it every day and complain about it. Once you decide that you're going to do it, you have to do it. That's it.
So this has been completely done in forest. So did you see any wild animals coming up, and how was the experience with wild animals in the forest?
Luckily, I did not see any. I used to go for a few walks in the evening, and the guy who was maintaining the house kept saying don't go, and he'd eventually come with me. So we wouldn't walk very far. He said there are a lot of wild bisons that tend to cross. A lot of my assistants and all that saw them, but I didn't see any wild bisons, but they're definitely there. There were, and I think there were tigers also, but I didn't see them. And there were snakes. A lot of people in part of the crew saw a lot of things, except for me. I just saw insects. I saw a bunch of insects. A few of them fell on me.
So once you entered into the story, so you've been with different characters. So which character in this movie, say, very close to you in this particular Kadam movie? There was in Madras, you had one person who was Karthik, and in this Arya, so who is that person like very close to you in this movie? Like something like a friend character.
Well, in this film, I had a lot of scenes, mostly with Arya and with my family. I think all the actors who were part of my family did a very nice job, especially my mother, Elizabeth. She's really a fantastic artist, and she also put in a lot of effort. So, yeah, I think these are the characters that are close to me.
After Kadamban, did you get any big appreciation from someone? Any calls from someone saying that this is a one beautiful film? And who was that person?
In general, from a lot of people, but mostly appreciating the amount of effort that we put into the film. Most of the responses that I've been getting from my friends as well as from my fans, that of appreciation for the effort. Everyone says when we watch the film, it's very obvious how much of effort you guys put in, and we really appreciate that, Catherine. So that feels nice, and appreciation is always nice for an actor.
We see you as a very modern girl in Kannada movies and Telugu movies when you concentrate on your costumes. So in this movie, you've been a tribal person. Who was your costume designer? How did you design that complete wear?
The costume designer was a girl called Deepali. Yeah, and it was designed mostly by her. I mean, the look of the character, and also by the director. We did a lot of look tests, to get the colors right, the colors of the costumes, the earrings, and generally the whole look, the tone of the skin and the hair, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was pretty much how we locked on the look for the character.
When you come to appreciation, you also have the critics. So who's your best critic? Is there someone from your family or your friends from your friend circle? What was a critic from the person for the Kadamban?
I think my best critic would definitely have to be me, and I am definitely sort of critical, and I see what has to be done and what the mistakes were. That's the first thing that my eye will go to. And in Kadamban, I don't know. Even though I just see that there's so much of effort that was put into the film, and when I see the film as such, all I can see is how much effort we put into the film. And I'm happy that people haven't been finding any fault with my movie, and people are just appreciating it and saying that you guys worked really hard. That feels good.
A model turned into an actress. So how was that transformation been?
It wasn't much of a transformation at all, because I don't think I really did any proper modeling, or I don't think I did any serious modeling. I was just doing that when I was in college. It was sort of a time pass thing that I was more or less pursuing as a hobby, more to go out and socialize and meet people. So that was not something that I took very seriously at all. Acting, on the other hand, especially once I started doing Telugu and Tamil films, is when I actually started taking it pretty seriously.
Everybody will have a role model as such. Once you come into a film industry, you will also have a role model. I have to do characters like this person. Is there any person like that, or from any other industry?
I don't think that it is right to look at someone and say that you have to follow this person, because that is actually not possible. Everyone has their own path to take. So I don't have a role model as such, but at the same time I do see and appreciate the good qualities in everybody, in all of the other actors and everyone who's part of the industry. Everyone has unique qualities, and I respect them for that.
You've been in all the industries, Kannada industry, Tamil industry, and Telugu industry, Malayalam industry also. Who is your best on-screen match as such?
That is something that the audience has to tell me. I'm generally comfortable with all my co-stars. I believe it is important to be comfortable with all of them, because only then will we have a healthy working environment, and only then will we have a nice time shooting.
What was your dream destination to go after Kadamban? Because you've been in forest, you've been in Dubai, everywhere you've been in India. So is there any dream destination as such?
You mean time for a holiday? I wish I had time for a holiday. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. Well, traveling I mostly keep for around Christmas, not before that. We'll see. Christmas is a long time away.
So how about Catherine Tresa having a dream boy in mind? Is there any dream boy as such?
In mind,
Yeah.
is it? No, I don't have a dream dream boy in mind. There are no boys also in mind. Nothing like that. No.
Okay, when I ask you each person, when I tell you a person's name, what comes to your mind directly? In one word you can tell, or you can settle in one sentence. How about your Madras hero Karthi?
Punctual.
Allu Arjun?
Energetic.
Upendra?
Talented.
Nani?
Talented.
Director Ranjit?
Passionate.
Arya?
Fun.
Action.
Okay, my first question is very simple. How you placed into Kadam? You are very choosy heroine. First of all, you are like something like Ajit Kumar of Lady Ajit Kumar,
Wow.
to be very frank. Because
Wow, okay.
like Tala, you get only one film or two films a year, but that going to be a blockbuster movie. So how you came into Kadam?
Well, the director Raghava sir told me the script. It was right after the audio launch of Kadam, and he told me the script, and I really loved it. I liked the core of the film. I liked the plot of the film. More importantly, I liked the character Radhi. You know, that he wanted me to play. And it was exciting for me because I've never played a tribal girl before, and I knew it would be extremely different and it would be really challenging for me, and I definitely get to learn a lot. And I also thought it would be interesting for people to see me dressed up as a tribal girl. You know, I thought it was interesting, and because it's something that I haven't attempted before. But it took me a while to really agree to doing the film because, you know, we shot this in the middle of nowhere. We shot this like in complete jungles, and the roads aren't good. In fact, there are no roads. So a lot of, walking to the spot and all that had to be on foot, and there are no hotels. So we probably live in someone's farmhouse if we took out on lease or on rent. And half the time there won't be electricity. So I knew all of these practical issues. So I had to mentally prepare myself quite a bit before I got into the film. But I think it was worth it. I really liked the output, and I'm very happy with the response of it.
Okay, you are basically a
Pizza lover?
pizza lover.
Wow, okay. Who
And-
told you that? Who told you that
I just
like
came through all the interviews, whichever I saw.
So I said I like pizza. Is
You
it?
like pizza? Something crazy about pizza?
No, not crazy about pizza. I have my cravings once in a while for pizza.
Okay.
But it's not something that I'm very, very fond of, or it's not something that I eat every day or I feel like eating every day. Once in a while, yeah, I definitely have a craving for a nice big pizza.
The question came only because of this. How was the food when you were shooting for Kadam?
That's such an interesting question. No one's asked me that. The food was very limited. We had very limited food, and you had to eat the same thing every day. So it was because I think the town or something was like maybe 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers away, and you get like your basic vegetables, some eggs, some fresh chicken, and maybe rice or dal or lentils or something like that. So it was just that again and again, and because I was eating that continuously, I was starting to crave for pizza. I just wanted to, because I knew I couldn't get it. If I knew there's a Domino's or something like right next door, I probably wouldn't have bothered. But the craving for pizza in the jungle started because I know it's impossible to get it. But I still got it from Kodaikanal.
It was a 1 hour drive.
It's a 1 hour drive for pizza. Yeah, I did it anyway. So,
And after this Kanidan and Madras, coming into this picture and working in a forest, a different scenario altogether, and with all the bare food, you have to travel all the way to the shooting spot. How was that feeling to be?
it was pretty crazy because it's the same thing every day. I mean, usually in films, maybe you'll have to do that, on 1 day or 2 days for a particular scene. But this was the story, and this was the case every single day. So I think in about 10 days or 15 days time, I kind of got used to it, and I accepted that, okay, fine. Every day the jeep will stop, and then you have to start trekking on foot, and the slope is all unbalanced, so you need to hold everyone for support and somehow make it uphill and start shooting. And if you have to come down to the van, again you start trekking downhill and come to the van. When you're done in the van, again trek uphill. So I got used to it. I think I lost weight also. I lost a lot of weight.
Okay. Whenever we talk about Arya, and people used to say he's a very crazy person, he makes fun of everybody. And how was working with Arya in this Kadamban movie? He's beefed up in all the...
Yeah, he's worked really hard on his body, like incredibly hard on his body. And the character required him to do so because a lot of the scenes have him flying off trees, and especially the last bit in the climax has him coming with like about 50 or 70 elephants. And he had to be really beefed up to look, to have this presence in front of those elephants. So it was the demand of the character, and he's very dedicated to put in all that work to get to that size. And then he maintained it while we were shooting, which was like 10 months. So I think all in all, he must have put in at least 1.5 to 2 years of effort into his body. And as a person, I don't think he was crazy at all. I didn't think he had the time to be crazy. I think he was just too busy eating his boring diet and working out twice in the day, and then trekking to the location and shooting. So I didn't see any of his crazy pranks at all.
ஜன்னல் சமூகத்தின் சாளரம் மாதம் இருமுறை வெளிவரும் குடும்ப இதழ்.